So this question I would like to ask Prof. So, what's an ideal life as a PhD student look like? You know,
Well, my PhD has a lot to do with digital technology, and there's a theory called immaterial labor, which basically say that in the information age, our market economy are no longer fully relying on commodities that are physical. We're no longer sitting inside factories, making plastic flowers, whatever, but we're actually constantly producing two things. So the first thing is called information laboring, and the second thing is effective laboring. Information laboring means that our job is actually creating new knowledge, new information. And for instance, every time we post on social media, we're actually creating content for the platform. Sometimes we don't even know it. So, how to create content that is valuable? I think that's one of the most important skills of a PhD. And that's also the most valuable thing that can be gained from the life within a university, which is, would I be able to go to another faculty, to a different school, and just sit there and to learn more so I can generate interdisciplinary knowledge? Would I be able to go to the science department and go to the humanities department so I would be able to find a collaborator where we can innovate the way we generate information? So that's the first thing. Second thing is effective laboring. Well, what is effective laboring? It means that every time we're trying to negotiate with a supervisor, to communicate with the teammates, communicate with a funder, a client, every time we care for our research assistants, professional service staff, or even, I'm in architecture, design, and social science. So every time I go and conduct social experiments, we're actually doing effective laboring. And as you can probably tell, effective laboring has a lot to do not just with the technical skills that we have, research skills, but also the soft skills. But is there a course? Well, maybe not a course. Is there an experience within our PhD life that actually can afford us these soft skills? Within an arena where your performance is hugely rely on summative assessment, do we have the best support for a PhD life so we can nurture the best immaterial leaders of the future? Well, currently in my experience, I think we can do a lot better. So maybe that's something that we have to work on as well.
I think Prof. gave a very good suggestion. But how do you see the role differentiation of relationship with PhD students? Whether you're a boss or like relationship or mentor and mentee or an elder brother with a younger sister, etc. So how do you see that relationship?
Well, first of all, to a room here full of professors, I think it's a very important job all of you are doing here because, in 10 or 20 years' time or 30 years' time, when we're all retired, those who you are mentoring now would be the people who will lead our society. They might end up in the government, they might be, in Huawei or Google, all the big corporates and controlling all of our data. So, what kind of people do we want to see in leading that society? Because the way that they will lead will be modeled after how we mentor them. Do we only want smart people, intelligent people, or as Chinese would say, 有才无德是小人，有德无才是君子。但未来的领导人必须要是才德兼备。That they really want to nurture gentlemen with integrity. Then we have to educate both their intelligence and their virtues. And it's only when, they learn how to be considerate, 仁义道德, compassionate, duty, propriety, integrity, then they can be a good leader in the future. That future when we're super old, we're the marginalized group, then we'll have a chance to still have a voice, still be respected and cared for. It's because of how you nurture PhD students today. So I think it's not just to define the mentor-mentee relationship as something static, but how we actually change the molds in thinking about that relationship and innovate it.